In the headlines, contracts worth over $21 million signed as the EU helps restore 10 feeder roads affected by Tropical Storm Erica. Domlek Hydro Station restoration works post Erica to be completed by year end, and a call by the National Security Minister for intensified police tactics as a community policing program rolls out in Calabishi this weekend. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. First up, two construction firms of Martinique and another based in St. Lucia are among contractors for feeder roads totaling 21 million EC dollars. Idona Jean-Baptiste reports.
Contracts were signed on Friday between the contracted firms and the NAO for the European Development Fund for upgrade of 10 feeder roads and improvement to access to the Londonderry Tissue Culture Facility. The European Union will finance the projects through the Banana Accompanying Measures Program. It will cost Travis EURL of Martinique 6.7 million EC dollars to work on feeder roads at Syndicate, Mero to Cuba, and Salisbury. St. Lucia's nationwide mobile concrete suppliers will undertake works on the Middle Ridge, Mango Gota, Mortin, Tigran 4, Foyal to Bois Denier, and Bois Bellevue feeder roads costing $3.7 million. Travaux Publics Bâtiments of Martinique will upgrade the Melville Hall and Collioure feeder roads at a cost of $9.1 million. And it will cost local company Offshore Civil and Marine Inc. $1.9 million to improve access to the tissue culture facility at Londonderry. The work will cover 60 kilometers of feeder routes. Agriculture Minister Johnson Drago expects to see a quantum leap in farming upon completion of works.
This investment will serve approximately 5,073 farmers, providing access to an anticipated 16,092 acres of productive land. Government is committed to investing an additional $8 million into feeder roads on this country.
Prime Minister Skerrit has publicly advised the foreign contractors to consider using local resources and workforce. He says because of a concern that overseas contractors are outdoing locals in tendering for projects, government will bring in expert quantity surveyors to help local contractors to better tender projects.
Because I am totally baffled and confused as to why there was one contractor who tendered on a lot at 1.3 million euros, and the closest local contractor tendered 2.7 million euros on that same lot. A 1.4 million euro difference. And what we did as a government, in order for local contractors to qualify, we requested of the EU to break the roads into lots. Instead of having one lot with all of the roads, broke it down into 3 lots. There were 2 companies in Dominica who met the requirements based on their submissions. And unfortunately, none was successful in any of the lots because of the large difference, the huge difference between by the lowest tender and the highest tender. So 1.3 and 2.7 is a huge difference.
Works will commence from mid-June to July to last 12 months. Idona Jean-Baptiste, Channel 5 News.
In related news, the European Union has agreed to increase funds for improvement to the country's farm roads due to damage by Tropical Storm Erica. Here again is Idona Jean-Baptiste.
National Authorizing Officer for the European Development Fund, Colin Roberts, told Friday's signing ceremony that the process to draw down funds from the EU for feeder roads was a huge challenge. She says the process started since 2007 when a road inventory and condition survey showed that only about 7% out of the 338.5 kilometers of feeder roads assessed were in a fair to good condition.
As a consequence of this survey, the government set out in its 10-year road sector program for 2010-2020 a very ambitious target for feeder roads. This was premised on the expectation that the roads to be rehabilitated under BAM would have been completed by 2015. But none of us expected Tropical Storm Erika, which significantly impacted many of our feeder roads. Understandably, the targets set by the Ministry of Public Works and Ports will have to be reviewed. Again, given the close relationship with the European Union, approval was granted to increase the allocation for the feeder roads post-Tropical Storm Erika by over 50% of the original sum.
Roberts announced that the EU is also funding the development of a road maintenance plan, which will guide her office in the upkeep of the feeder roads.
The staff of the Division of Agriculture has developed production plans for each of the targeted areas. These were critical in the selection of the feeder roads. This was not an academic exercise. It is absolutely necessary to execute the plans if we are to realize the impact of the BAM interventions. We are contractually obliged to complete these works in 12 months with resources provided by both the European Union and the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
To the energy sector now, where restoration works at Domlec's affected hydropower station are expected to be completed by the end of the year. Following the passage of Tropical Storm Erika last year, severe damage was caused to the company's hydropower stations, particularly in the Trafalgar area. However, shortly after the tropical storm, Domlec was 100% operationally restored.
It means that all of the facilities, generating facilities, all of the supporting systems were operable, were restored, repaired, and operable in order to facilitate the generation of electricity from the hydro. However, there are some other works that need to be done. We have a lot of infrastructural damage that still has not been repaired that was caused by Erika. Now, we have to repair this damage because these infrastructure supports these generating systems and operating at the power plants and the pipeline. They provide support and they have been badly eroded and damaged. So if we don't repair them, it will take a lesser activity than Erika to cause a total failure.
Thus far, temporary measures have been put in place to protect the system until the permanent works are complete.
What we have done proactively is that we've put in temporary support structures in place to anticipate heavy rains coming before the big rains. So we've put in temporary structures in place, and those temporary structures are holding up. And then when we complete the infrastructure work, the permanent structure will be done. And then the structures will be designed as improvement to what was there. So in areas where we recognize there are weaknesses in the infrastructure and susceptible to river attack, we have made some civil engineer design that will improve that and should be able to withstand a similar event.
Stamp says permanent restorative work is key in protecting the company's infrastructure from damage which can be caused from future weather events.
We are in the tendering process. And we are evaluating tenders for our civil engineering companies, local companies, to do the restoration. So we are, in another couple of weeks, we should be awarding the contract to the successful bidder. And the restoration work should start. And we hope to complete that by the end of this year. It will be a very expensive and involved process, a lot of equipment, a lot of civil engineering work and infrastructural work, but we think we can manage that and it will be done this year. So we are on track. So operationally we're there, but infrastructure we need to get there.
Total restorative works are expected to cost just under $2 million. A former deputy police commissioner is among 3 Dominicans who have been contracted to serve as magistrates. Their appointments will begin in May, June, and July, respectively. The administration of traffic-related matters, offenses under the Litter Act, liquor and rent and juvenile matters stand to be expedited as a result. A new position within the police force has also been created, the position of Assistant Police Chief. The individual to fill that post is yet to be identified. This, as Cabinet this week approved a proposal by the Ministry of Justice, Immigration and National Security. A news conference took place on Friday to announce the development. Honorable Justice Minister Rayburn Blackmore says the move is an important part due to a response to call by the business community for court matters to be dealt with much quicker.
The present staff complement at the Magistrates Court has proven to be inadequate to effectively deal with the volume of work at the courts, and as a result, there's always a backlog of matters. This situation is further compounded as it has been proven difficult to secure and retain trained and committed magistrates.
The new position will cost government $300,000 annually.
One of the magistrates she was a former chief magistrate in Dominica, very efficient, I think it's Gatorway. And the other one, who I know very well, I worked with him as a police officer within the Criminal Investigation Department, CID. He also was one of my instructors at training school, Mr. Ashraf Rivera, also a qualified lawyer who served as a senior lawyer, magistrate, in Antigua. And they're back and they're willing to serve this country. The lead magistrate is a former deputy commissioner of police, Mr. Valerie.
And Mapping 2K4 Limited has once again paid special tribute to mothers in Dominica ahead of Mother's Day on Sunday. Mothers who came in to update their accounts received special treatment from the local telecoms company.
Today we are treating them with a little cake and some juice, but they also have a chance to win some of these gift items, which are compliments Jolly's Pharmacy. Along with that, we have a spa treatment from Royal Touch in Portsmouth and also a night for two at La Flamboyante in Roseau. The mothers that are paying today, they get a chance to win. Dip and win, of course, and get a little treat from Mapping as a form of our appreciation to our customers.
Similar Mother's Day appreciation activities were also held at the company's Portsmouth office.
They also will get a chance to win prizes, just gift items just like those, and also grocery items from MFS in Portsmouth. The customers that are paying there, they'll get a chance to dip and win, and two of the items is $250 worth of grocery items. So the two lucky customers, they'll get a chance to go to the supermarket and they will shop the $250, but in the form of a supermarket sweep.
Mapping's customer appreciation could be repeated next month.
There might be something for the fathers, so they don't get jealous. We at Mapping, we try our best to appreciate all our customers, and what we do for mothers, we will try our best to do it for fathers. We just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers who are Mapping customers and mothers all over Dominica.
Coming up, the First Lady of Reggae, Marcia Griffiths, on her first visit to Dominica and her plans for this special Mother's Day weekend. Welcome back. A community policing program to be rolled out in the community of Calabishi over the weekend.
The Minister for Justice, Rayburn Blackmore, says this is in an attempt to have greater police presence around the island and improve relations between the public and the police.
The people of Dominica support the police and want to work with the police. That is why I believe and I'm convinced that a well put together police plan, community policing plan, is the way to go. I want to commend and compliment the police department for preparing and presenting to the Honorable Minister a well put together action plan for the implementation of community policing. The police will be meeting with the villagers of Calabishi, I've been told, to set the platform to see the commencement of the community policing plan. We have gotten the commitment from your Prime Minister that all the financial resources you need shall be provided.
Blackmore noted that the police need to intensify their tactics in suburban areas.
I've been interacting with a number of persons living in, especially Kenfield East, the Wall Houses, and other areas. Coptown, where persons' homes have been burglarized. And because the criminals wait and study them, and most times they operate during the daytime. It means, therefore, that the police, too, must pay special attention to those areas.
The minister says the police had done a good job over the past few years, but there is no reason for complacency.
I must say that I've seen some improvement, more so in the city of Roseau, but there's still room for much more improvement. We are seeing that you're making some progress in some investigations and trying to get rid of illegal firearms on the streets.
In more news now, Dominica is stepping up its HIV testing campaign ahead of Regional Testing Day on 24th of June. The AIDS Response Program is already involved in a campaign during the month of May for people who have never taken an HIV test. Coordinator of National HIV AIDS Response Program outlines where the clinics are and when testing will be available for local residents.
Castle Bruce Health District begins that month for us from the 9th of June. They are planning a community outreach from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Laplin follows on the 16th. They are also planning a community outreach. On Friday, the 17th of June, Collyho, the St. Joseph Health District is having a community outreach in Collyho. Granby follows on the 20th of June. Well, Granby actually has a week of activity, well, more than just a week, but their main testing day is going to be on the 20th. Then Tedmont Health Center, again in Granby, on the 22nd of June. Atkinson, again, but Marigot Health District is also on the 22nd of June, another community outreach. Portsmouth is on the 24th. Roseau Health Center is also on the 24th of June, which is actually Regional Testing Day. So those of you who are in and around Roseau, pay attention. We are also considering offering testing throughout the month with the national program at our office. But Thursday the 23rd and Wednesday the 29th are days that you need to look out for and ensure that you come in and get your HIV test done.
Ms. Samuel has some pointers on how we can remain free of HIV.
Abstinence, your best choice, the only way to remain negative. B, to be faithful. Be faithful with your partner who is also faithful with you. Consistently and correctly wear a condom every time you choose to have sex. And of course, D, do your test, get that test done. Ensure that you do not do drugs and alcohol. And if you do, plan to do it less and less until you actually get off it totally. And of course, E, continue to educate yourself so that you can educate others. Be empowered. Most importantly, know your status, remain negative.
And the First Lady of Reggae, Jamaican Marcia Griffiths, is performing here this weekend. The queen of the electric slide boogie, one of the most successful female reggae artists in the world, has been at it for some time but manages to keep it fresh and appealing. And young artists are constantly thrilled to work with her, something she says she embraces.
I am a person, I love the energy from the youth. There's no energy like the energy from the youth. So lots of the young singers and DJs, they usually want to do collaborations with me for some reason, I don't know why. And I am always welcoming everyone. So I managed to do collaborations with young artists, Romain Virgo, Busy, Christopher Martin, all of these young singers, you know, Etana, because I have collaborations with 50 artists right now, celebrating my 50th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic. 50 years plus.
50, yeah, that's right. I started in 1964, 10 years old. In November, I would have been, Easter Monday morning. And the rest is history.
Marcia performed with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires back in 1964, as well as Bob Marley, and has inspired a whole generation of new artists.
Today I can sit here with you and tell you that one of the things that I cherish and I've done in this 50-odd years in the business, money can't buy, is inspiring all the other female singers. It is such a wonderful feeling to sit and you listen to young singers doing interviews, you know, in the media, and they talk about who inspired them. And at least I know my work was not in vain. So it's a wonderful feeling to have inspired almost every singer.
She also shared a little of her experience with the late, great Bob Marley.
When I started in 1964, I met Bob at Studio One. But I was blessed to have had international exposure before. When Bob went to England for the first time, he came back and he was telling me how big I was in England, because at that time, Bob Andy and myself had a song in the British charts, Young, Gifted and Black. So when Bob went to England, that time he never had a international song as yet. And he came back and he said, boy, you guys are big in England, because everywhere I go, it was just Bob and Marcia, Bob and Marcia. So I never had the vision or ever dreamed that I would end up being one of the backing vocals for Bob, and never knew who that man was at the time. It was not until I started working with Bob that I realized that this man was truly special, and he was sent by Almighty God himself. With no apology, I say this.
This is Marcia's first visit to Dominica. She performs live at the Mother's Day event at Harlem Plaza on Saturday.
So we're asking all daughters, all sons, treat your mom. We're asking mothers, bring your children, colleagues, everybody, just come and celebrate with us on Saturday, May 7 at the Harlem Plaza from 9 p.m. Marcia Griffiths, along some of the very best local artists, will be giving us an excellent package of entertainment. And like Marcia said, it's more than just entertaining the people, but really spreading the message. It's a spiritual journey itself. It's educating the people, it's uplifting them, inspiring them, and we're looking forward to just having a wonderful time.
I call her Auntie Marcia, because she knew me from I was a baby. When I first left the hospital, she was one of the first persons that my father, gave me to, and said, boy, hold this boy. A special boy. So I have great respect for her, and the concert is going to be great. For the more mature folks, a great time to dance and enjoy themselves. And for the younger folks who will be attending, it would be an educational experience for them, to understand the nostalgia and the history of Marcia Griffiths, as a stalwart in the business.
That's news. Your sports highlights next. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Kicking off with football. Bathurst State Football Club stole the spotlight as they hammered Maxroy Classics Foncolé 9-0 in the All-Island League in the first match of a doubleheader at Newtown Playing Field on Thursday. Denzel Lawrence scored 4 times for Bathurst State, with Derrickson McDonald and Jemiah Timothy getting 2 each. Fabio Roberts converted 1. In the second encounter, Goodwill All-Stars edged out Times Ballers Signman Middleham United 2-1. Sherwin Phillip got both goals for Goodwill, with Kyan Matthews scoring for Middleham United. Meantime, Gerald George has a lineup of football games for the weekend.
On Saturday, Dubla Football Club will take on Calibishi at the Benjamin Park, while at the Newtown Playing Field it will be Delton United versus White River Ballers. Both matches begin at 5 p.m. And at the Castlebrooks Playing Field, Nemesis United will come up against East Central Young Boys at 3 p.m. On Sunday, Goodwill All-Stars will battle ACS Tarish United at 3 p.m. in the first match of a doubleheader at the Newtown Playing Field, to be followed by Haitian Angels versus Daddy Chess Barfoot Ambassadors at 5 p.m. Meantime, in the Domlek Women's League on Saturday, defending champions New India Goodwill Runners will take on Mao Soka Strikettes at the Newtown Playing Field, while at the Benjamin Park it will be Bomber Starlights versus Wood City Strikers. Both matches begin at 3 p.m.
Checking out some basketball now, Detroit Blazers defeated Crossover 60-54 in the 2016 Flow DABA League Thursday. Nathan John Jules was the star shooter for Blazers with 21 points and 7 rebounds. He was assisted by Thomas Felix, who added 19 points and 8 rebounds. Crossover's McRae Edwards and Kesley Guy registered 15 points each. In the other match that night, in a Division I encounter, Fashion Line Falcons bested the Snipers from Paybush 62-55. For Falcons, Augustus Juliana got 15 points and Cleve Bellot 12. Ahmad Fagan added 19 and Shannon Matthew 13 points for snipers. Still in sports, Sports Minister Justina Charles says government is still dedicated to making an indoor sporting facility a reality. She made the comment at the National Sports Awards on Wednesday.
I am aware that on the minds of many is the proposed indoor facility. I wish to state that government remains committed to making this a reality, but the devastation caused by Tropical Storm Erica forced us to redirect financial resources to the reconstruction effort. However, sportsmen and women, you can rest assured that all is being done to ensure that your needs are met in the area of court sports.
In weekend sports, matches organized by the Dominica Cricket Association continue this weekend, beginning with a game between Point Michelle Cricket Academy and Reuben Bakery Christians on Sunday at 10 a.m. in the intermediate category. In the Premier Division, Summit Sports Club will do battle with Desiderata Tremors at Botanic Gardens, while over at Benjamin's Park, Marino Blasters will come up against Dubla United Stars. Still in weekend sports, there will be a Mother's Day with a difference as action continues in the Big Edge Gifford Toussaint softball cricket competition on Sunday. At Lindo Park, in a featured match of the day, Cornells will do battle with Dasper Sports Club. Those teams have been very competitive in the league so far and will be looking to outdo each other from 2 p.m. Still at Lindo Park, Stuco Construction Hammers will take on Piditsa Van Erikens from 10:30 a.m. Then over at Castle Bruce, Kalinago Territory will face off against Woti Woodford Hill at 1 p.m. Meantime, President of Dominica Softball Cricket Development Heston Charles says recently women have become more interested in cricket.
In the advent of the West Indies women securing the World Cup Championship, we have seen a surge of interest from ladies in terms of cricket, and we are happy to be able to stage these 3 matches.
Finally, on the international cricket scene, Sunrisers Hyderabad defeated Gujarat Lions by 5 wickets in the Indian Premier League on Friday. The Lions took first knock and scored 126 for 6 in 20 overs. Aaron Finch added 51 not out, while Suresh Raina chipped in with 20. Dwayne Bravo scored 18 and Dwayne Smith was caught after scoring 1 run. Set 127 for victory, Hyderabad scored 129 for 5 in 19 overs. Shikhar Dhawan was the top batsman for Sunrisers with 47 runs. That's all the sports for now. Join us again next time. We're hoping for some lovely weather this Mother's Day weekend. Here is your weather report.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Corrett Joseph. We start off by taking a look at some earlier satellite imagery, and what it showed is generally fair to partly cloudy conditions across the region. Visible satellite imagery showed mostly low-level clouds over Dominica. Radar imagery indicated some scattered showers to the east of the islands. Conditions for tonight, fair to partly cloudy with brief showers. Some breezy conditions can also be expected. Similar conditions are expected tomorrow. Sea conditions, moderate in open water with waves up to 7 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise some caution. Taking a look at the extended forecast, an increase in cloudiness and scattered showers are expected on Sunday due to the presence of a trough system. Across the region tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy conditions with some scattered showers are expected. On the international scene, partly cloudy conditions in New York and London, clear skies in Miami and Beijing, and some thunderstorm in Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:39 a.m. and set at 6:25 p.m. For updated information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines once again. Contracts worth over $21 million signed by the EU helps restore 10 feeder roads affected by Tropical Storm Erica. Domlek Hydro Station restoration works post Erica to be completed by year-end, and a call by the National Security Minister for intensified police tactics as a community policing program rolls out in Calavishi this weekend. Feel free to contact us at news@mapping2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube page. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome weekend.